Hi everyone, I'm Tim Randall, the Director of Product Management here at Milyli. I'm excited to give you a first look at name normalization from Milyli's privilege log tool, Chronicle. Milyli's new name normalization tool is perfect for extracting names and data from relativity fields, providing a collaborative space for reviewing and normalizing names, and storing these normalized names in new relativity fields. For this demonstration, we're going to be using a case where we've already done a first pass review and marked several documents as privileged. For these documents, we're going to be withholding them from the production, which means that we're going to be building a privilege log. And to do that, we're going to normalize all of the names in this case for the specific saved search. Each of these emails has filled out an email to, an email from, and in some cases, a CC or a BCC. And we have a lot of different typos and name issues and shorthand names throughout this document set. One of the ones that we'll be taking a look at quite a bit is my own name. To access the tool, simply navigate to the Chronicle tab within your workspace, and then the Name Normalization tab under the Chronicle tab. This will bring you to the project list page. There is no limit to the number of projects you create. We'll get started by clicking New Project in the top right and providing some basic information for our project here. And then we are going to select our saved search. So we'll pick the one from before, which is going to be our withheld emails. And then we're going to select our email fields from the dropdown here. So email from, email to, email BCC, and email CC. And for each of these, they do have multiple values. And since we use relativity processing, they were imported semicolon delimited. There are several other options such as comma and tab, which are some of the common ways that processing engines import data into relativity. So those options are here. So once we filled this out, we'll go ahead and click Save, and we'll automatically be navigated to the Name Normalization project dashboard. And from this dashboard, we have a couple things we can do. We can edit this project if we recognize we've made a mistake. We can delete it if we wanted to start over, or we can run the analysis. Now, when I click on the Run Analysis button, Chronicle will begin iterating over the documents in the saved search, scanning all of our configured fields, and extracting data from those fields. While this is happening, Chronicle is also going to evaluate any existing work product that you've done in the case already. So if normalizations already exist in this workspace for a name, a mapping is going to automatically be added to the project, so we don't have to repeat that work. To get started, cleaning up and normalizing names, we can click the Normalize Values tab here at the top, and we are brought to our screen where we can start working with some of the data here. Now, all of the information in this case is laid out here as a not normalized view first, where we can see the original value. This is the data that was extracted. Like I mentioned earlier, one of the names that we definitely want to clean up here is my name. So I'm going to type in the search box here and filter for my name. So I'm going to type in Tim, and right away, this is going to give us quite a few values. One thing that we can note is that in a lot of cases, there's going to be values that are just already correct. We have Timothy Randall here. This is already correct. So I can just select already normalized here at the bottom and click normalize. And what this is going to do is it's going to jump over right away. You can see that there is 11 instances across my fields of Timothy Randall that are now staged to be normalized. Since all of the rest of these are definitely me, let's go ahead and select all of these values. If we had to make a new normalization, we can. But in this case, we'll select Timothy Randall and then click normalize. And what's going to happen is all of those values are now automatically assigned to Timothy Randall. If I double click this box here, this is going to show us the existing normalization that we created. We could edit the name here and correct that. We can remove any of these existing associations. We can filter the mapped value through here, sort by count. We can see some of the outliers like Timoth Randall that got mapped to Timothy Randall, or we could delete this normalization mapping altogether. In this case, this is good. We're going to go ahead and keep this. So I'll click cancel here. We'll clean out our filter. And then now our overall list has been reduced, making it much easier for us to work through some of the remaining work. Another example, let's go ahead and select Jed. And in this case, because of my review, we're going to assume I already know that this is Jedediah Casanelli. So I'm going to select New Normalization from my dropdown, click Normalize, click Create. This is going to put our value over here and automatically map that. And then just like before, I can filter this by Jed, which gives us all of the places where the word Jed shows up. And one of the reasons why I wanted to show this is we had a situation here where typing in Tim didn't find TMI Randall. So this is a scenario where there is a typo in my name that needs to be normalized. So we can select Timothy Randall and click Normalize, and that'll get that out of the list for us. If we are focusing on some of these bigger ones, making sure our values that are already normalized, like Stephen Inkenbrand, Jacob Malliot, Carl Layton, Deb Mathis, these are names that are already in a good spot. We are saying already normalized and clicking normalized. Then this is going to go ahead and pull those off of the left list for us and begin calling down the overall amount of work that we need to do. Now, if you compare this, for example, to what you'd be doing in Excel, where you're going to be setting up pivots, you're going to be setting up tons of different filters, and then you're going to be running macros and other things to kind of recreate this. This serves as a really vast simplification of that manual cleanup process and gives you some of the ability to just make rapid decisions. After normalizing several names, I'm now ready to apply these back to Relativity so I can take advantage of them in my privilege log. Go ahead and click on Apply Normalizations, and we're presented with some information about what the original fields are that will be mapped to the new field. So in each case, when we write these values back to Relativity, we always do so by writing to a brand new field, and we never manipulate the original value. For each document, we'll look at the original values, we'll create the new normalized field, and then we'll write the normalized value into the new field. If there are multiple values in the original, and some of them haven't been changed or don't have a mapping, they'll keep their state for now. I'm going to go ahead and click Write Values to Fields, and this is going to start running this in the background. There's a nice message here letting you know that this could take some time. And if it does, and this runs for a while, you don't have to sit here. You can leave this screen and go do something else. And we'll go ahead and email you and let you know when this process has completed. In this case, just a couple of fields. It's going to go pretty quick. It's going to create them pretty quickly. And we are all set. So now all of the normalized values that we have mapped here have been written to the new normalized field, and we are all set. One final important note is that all of the actions that we just took have been audited by Chronicle. By navigating to the Audit tab under the Chronicle tab, you can see here all of the work that we just did as a part of this video. We can see everything from the normalizations that we created, the values that were mapped, all the way down to applying these normalizations back into Relativity. This ensures that any actions that are taken by anyone that you give access to this tool are always audited, and you can always come back here and take a look at the history of that work. And with that, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to learn about name normalization for Chronicle. We cannot wait to get this out into your hands and get you using this application. So thank you so much for your time today, and we'll see you next time.